The French President Emmanuel Macron has warned that the United States under Donald Trump is breaking free from international rules and is gradually turning away from some of its allies. Now, Macron's remarks have come amidst the ongoing trade tensions between Paris and Washington and in the aftermath of Donald Trump's move to send troops to capture the Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
The United States is an established power, but one that is gradually turning away from some of its allies and freeing itself from international rules it promoted not long ago, whether in trade, certain security matters, or some forums. And China is an ever-rising power that must choose diversified partnerships, but which demonstrates an increasingly uninhibited commercial aggressiveness, especially since the post-COVID period, and which is now putting a strain on the European economy.
France's refusal of what it describes as an increasingly assertive U.S. policy has come amidst renewed concerns following recent U.S. military action in Venezuela, and also Trump's repeated comments about Greenland, which is rich in minerals, including rare earths, and occupies a strategic Arctic location. Several European leaders have pushed back Trump's threat of seeking an American takeover of Greenland. The European Union's foreign policy chief Kaja Kallas has said that the EU has discussed what a European response will look like if the US threat of acquiring Greenland, a semi-autonomous Danish territory, is carried through.
The messages that we hear regarding Greenland are extremely concerning, and we have had discussions also among the Europeans. If this is a real threat, and if it is, then what would be our response? So, as Denmark has been a good ally for United States, and all these statements are not really helping the stability of the world, I would say.
While German Foreign Minister underlines the future of Greenland is for its people to decide and not Trump, adding that he was sure that NATO will remain united, Trump's repeated remarks to seize Greenland has infuriated allies Denmark and Europe. The European leaders, including France and Germany, have announced that they are working on a plan in the event the US follows through on this threat. Now, both Greenland and Denmark have made it clear that the island is definitely not for sale. And if any invasion or even Venezuela-like operation takes place, then Denmark's forces are duty-bound to retaliate. But Denmark's military strength pales in comparison to the United States, and if the United States takes the invasion route, then this may lead to the collapse of the NATO military alliance. The retired French General Michel Yakovlev has said that Europe does not have the means to go to war with the United States, but Europe may kick them out of the key bases. Now, US forces have been stationed in and deployed across Europe since the end of the Second World War. More than 40 American military bases span the continent. The bulk of the bases are concentrated in Central Europe, primarily in Germany, Italy, Poland, and the United Kingdom. Washington already has a military presence in Greenland. The Pituffik base currently houses some 150 personnel. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be meeting with the Danish officials next week to discuss Greenland. When asked whether the United States is willing to risk the NATO alliance by potentially moving ahead with the military option, Rubio did not answer directly, but stated that Trump had been talking about acquiring Greenland since his very first term. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.